Hi, I'm Taylen Biggs, and I am here with Young Entertainment. I am so excited to FaceTime you today.
Okay, I'm so excited to FaceTime you too, girl. So let's jump into this. So again, I'm Daniela with Young Entertainment. We are so ecstatic to have you. We
Oh,
really
thank you
are.
so much.
I
Thank
don't
you.
know. Yeah, I don't always fangirl, but when I heard that I was going to talk with Taylen, I said I'm a fangirl today. So let's just,
Oh,
yeah, let's jump right in. So tell me right off the bat, how did you get into interviewing? How did this whole thing come to be?
wow. So, long story short, interviewing started at 7, so it'll kind of start where I really started and got into the fashion industry. It really started like 18 months. I know that sounds like mind blowing, but the Kardashians called me and, well, not me at 18 months, my mom, and they wanted me to be their model for the Kardashian kids clothing line. And so I did that, and then at 3 years old, I walked Sherry Hill, and I was one of the youngest models in the world, the youngest models in the world. And then COVID rolled in. Well, I started going to New York Fashion Week, and then COVID rolled in. But I started like making like these red carpet videos, and the my favorite one to do was the Golden Globes. I just did the Golden Globes. It was so fun, and really making that dream come true was iconic to me. So I would do the Golden Globes, the Grammys, the Oscars, the Met Gala. The Met Gala, I love the Met Gala also. And then when it calmed down a bit, I got a really big call from New York Fashion Week, and they wanted me to be the backstage host for New York Fashion Week. So this is when it really started, the interviewing. And so they wanted me to do like interviews. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And then like they wanted me to do like intros and outros and stuff like that. So I did that, and I really enjoyed like talking to people. I'm a people's person, so that's what I love, talking to people. And also like when I did it for the first time, I'm like, wow, I really enjoy this is really fun. And then I started doing my own like 3 question interviews, and I kind of realized it's not so fun because I feel like you don't really get to understand the person so much. And it's kind of just like, okay, like it's I want more. Like, so I started doing my own exclusive interviews, which like have 11 questions. That's a lot of questions, but and you really get to connect with the person, because I feel like when it's a shorter interview, it's not so connecting. And I'm someone like to connect with people and really connect with them and understand their story and understand their style in a way. So that's how it started, and now here I am.
I love it. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing all that. That is really fun.
Yes.
That is so fun to learn. So, okay, let's be honest for a second. You have accomplished so much at such a young age. And
Thank you.
you definitely have something about you. There's something different. I don't know if you're familiar with the phrase it girl. That's what they call it when, I was growing up, but you're an it girl, right? You've got it going
Thank
on. So,
you.
what gives Taylor her sparkle? What is the one thing that you feel like just makes you shine?
I'm someone that doesn't like to say, like, I'm not the person to brag or anything. I'm the
Yeah.
person to be like, no, like I don't share anything. Like when I'm with my friends, I'm not like, oh I do this. Guess what? I just did this. Like I'm a
Yeah.
person that's very to myself and just kind of keep it quiet in a way. And I do, when I'm doing my stuff, I do it, and that's boss mode, and then I come back and act like nothing happened. I'm just like, so, but
I love
my
that.
mom always tells me before I leave, shine from within. Never shine from without, because from within, that's where it's real. Like outside, the outside things is secondary, but
Yeah.
inside is the very important. So that's what I think, that's
Yeah.
my thing.
Yeah, and you know what too? I think that you said it without saying it. You're the girl that goes and she's in boss babe mode. She shines. She does her thing.
Yes.
She comes back home. She's not out bragging about it. Yeah.
No.
And I
And
think
I
that's what makes you special, and that's what makes you shine because you know that it's all about a person's heart. Just like you said, you like to get to know people in their interviews,
yes.
and that's what makes you stand out, and I really like that about you. I respect that and I admire that.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay. So you kind of already shared what the most important part of an interview is for you, where you want to get to know the person. Do you have anything else to add on to that as far as like the most important part of the interview?
Like for other people out there.
Yes. Yes.
So, tone and delivery is very important is because you got to be nice and respect the person with gratitude and be grateful for the moment, and I think that's very important. And also, just please do your research. If you're not doing your research, why are you interviewing? Because interviewing, you need to know your research by who you're talking to. If you don't know who you're talking to, what are you doing? And I feel like also that research helps you get to know them a little better. And I feel like people say, oh, that's for interviewing, and you ask them then. But I also like to get to know a little more before I interview them so I can relate to them a little better and connect with them. And I think that's the very important thing about interviewing. And always be confident in when you speak, because if you're speaking and just like kind of nervous, of course you could be nervous. And nervous is actually a good thing because you are grateful. You're grateful for the moment, and I think that's very important. And I think that's the main thing you got to know before you do an interview is just research and
Yeah.
tone delivery.
Yeah, that's so good, and like you said, connecting with the person, taking a moment to relate with them, get on their
Step,
level. Yeah, because we all have we can find something in common with everybody that we meet, so making that
definitely.
connection and then going on that vibe, I love that. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you're probably familiar with the term GRWM, get ready with me. So,
Yes.
yes, we wanna know what is your GRWM routine before doing an interview?
So I feel like I pick something that fits the moment. So when it comes to picking my outfit, I kind of like going for a blazer, or I think it really depends on the setting and where I'm gonna be at or in the working space I'm gonna be in. So, for example, like if I'm holding a mic, I am someone I don't like to be like, I feel like I can't have a ruffle cuff around my hand because I feel like it's a bit like it takes away from the person that you're interviewing, and you're putting the light on them. You're interviewing them and they are the star of the interview. So I think that's one thing. And then when it comes to a carpet, I think I kind of have to I relate to the carpet a little bit
Mhm.
and feel the surrounding, and then I put an outfit together. Sometimes I style my own outfits and make sure I'm comfortable also. And when I'm sitting down, like doing an exclusive interview, I feel like I need to wear something that's a bit cleaner because we're sitting there longer talking, and I don't want to take the light from them. It's their time to shine, like I said, when I'm on the carpet. So I kind of I go for a cleaner look, just a clean bun, and then probably, like, for example, the outfit I wore for Selena Gomez, I wore this like neon boss. I'm actually wearing boss right now too. It was this boss blazer and pants set. It was really pretty. It was green and yellow, like a neon green, and I really think it fit the moment. It was calm, but not it shine. It was not so crazy, but it was settled. So I think I try to relate on the place and who I'm talking to, and also like I feel like I could tap into the person's vibe even without even being next to them or talking to them. I don't know. I feel like I could really tap into people's energies. So I kind of based on that also, and I also like being comfortable when it comes to an interview. Yeah, so I make sure I'm
Yeah.
comfortable. And also on the carpet, I like to wear comfortable shoes because if you don't have comfortable shoes, yeah, your feet are going to be hurting. And especially standing up for so long, I wear my favorite combat boots, which are D squared, and also my Karl Lagerfeld boots, which I wore on the Golden Globes carpet. So my feet were very comfortable.
I love that. Comfort is key. Okay, so speaking of the Selena Gomez interview, 2 things. What was your reaction when you found out you were going to be interviewing the Selena Gomez, and what was your favorite part about interviewing her? I'm sure that there were so many good parts, but I wanna know your favorite.
So I like almost passed out when I heard I was gonna interview her. Like I almost did. I really thought I would. Um, but it was just like such. I was so grateful and
Mhm.
for this crazy and amazing moment, and it was gonna happen. And I really took a. I made sure I was prepared for the moment, like I said, and also what learned, it was not what she said, it was what she the vibe she gave to me was it felt I felt safe with her. Like I felt like I was at home. She felt like home, and she was so graceful and sweet and kind. And I always want to hold that because I want people to feel safe with me. And when they're when they meet me and speak with me, and I always want to carry that because I want people to feel like that when they meet me and speak with me. And I think that's another important thing when it comes to an interview.
Yes, totally. Okay, and speaking of, we have technical issues today, but in general,
Yes.
what is the most challenging part of interviewing and how do you overcome it?
I don't it's not challenging. I
Okay.
think it's just research, research, research. Research is so important, like I said. And if I always have to leave myself I try to leave myself the right amount of time for doing my research and getting to know the person. And if you don't leave yourself enough time, that's where it gets a little crazy, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's challenging. I think it's about research and getting to know who you're talking to and know a little bit of the backstory and understand the person who you're talking to. So, I don't think there's really anything hard or challenging. So, I think that's basically the main thing, research.
Yeah. Research, that's so good and that's so important. So it's a great
It
tip.
is.
Is there anything that's happened like off camera, BTS, behind the scenes, like a funny moment, or even a fun moment that you can share with us?
Yes. It was a moment. Um, yeah. So it was when I interviewed Chris Jenner. We had a whole conversation about about our shoes, and we went back on the tapes, and our shoes were not in frame, so we had to cut out that whole conversation talking about our shoes. I was like, okay, okay, calm down,
Oh,
okay,
no.
yeah. So it was a moment, yeah.
The moment, it happens, it's okay, but I
It
love
happens. It happens.
it happens, and I love that you had that moment with Kris Jenner. You'll remember that for forever. That's so
Yeah.
fun. I love the Kardashians. I love that they're just like a team of boss babes, and they're so inspiring. I joke
Yes.
sometimes I will put on their show in the background, and, like, I call them my coworkers because I leave them on in the background all day, and I love
I love that.
it, right? It's like they have the boss babe vibe, it's inspiring, they just have the best
Yes,
energy, so anyway,
they
that's
do.
so fun. Okay, so we loved watching your journey with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo.
Thank
We
you.
actually spoke with young Alphaba from the
Ooh.
movie, and she was so, so sweet. It was such a pleasure. What was that journey like for you? We loved when you put the glasses on.
Oh yes, that was an adventure. That went more far than a journey. That was an adventure. Yes. So it was truly magical. It was amazing and meeting them. So actually, long story short, um no one knew Ariana Grande was coming in. So we were in this line of like who's going to be interviewing and going in the room. It's not like a room, it like had like silk stuff around it, and then you would go in and then sit down and interview the person. It was a press junket. So it was a line, and no one knew Ariana Grande was going to come through the door and walk in and go sit down. I was like, oh
Oh.
my God. And she comes in and says, oh my God, I love you. I watch your videos. I was like, oh my God, thank you. And I love Cynthia Erivo. Like I've been following her journey for quite some time now. And like her fashion is like I always like if she was on a carpet, I would always talk about her fashion. And when I walked in there and when it was my turn to interview them, I felt like I already had a connection, and I didn't feel like I came in and like it was kind of lost, but it was like a connection. We already had like almost like, and then we're gonna build a relationship. So we built that through the interview, and they were just so sweet and magical. And like Ariana is literally Glinda. She gives Glinda vibes, and Cynthia, she is so alphaba,
Yeah.
and it was just such a magical moment for me. Like meeting one of my favorite people
Mhm.
and seeing them on the carpet so many times at such a young age, and finally meeting them was such a big deal for me, a real surreal moment. It
Yeah.
was.
That's unreal, and how cool that Ariana instantly recognized you and fell
It was
all over
such a cool
you.
moment. It was such a really cool moment.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, I know you touched on this a little bit earlier, but girl, you made it to the Golden Globes, which is huge. What an OMG moment. That is so exciting. So, how did the Golden Globes come to be? And how in the world do you memorize everyone's names and everyone's shows? You are so good.
Well, so my Access Hollywood approached my team, and they wanted to do a fun collaboration for the Golden Globes, and I was like, I'm going to the Golden Globes. I want to go to the Golden Globes. I am going. And I went. It was what I was kind of surprised by two things. It went pretty quick. The carpet like quickly moved, and it was really chaotic. I was not expecting that. But yeah, it was really, really chaotic, but it was such a cool moment for me. And I've always done like recaps on the Golden Globes. And then now, finally, this year, I wasn't going to be sitting in a room talking about everybody's fashion. I literally went there and talked about people's fashion and spoke with them. So I thought that was such a fun, surreal moment for me. And I enjoyed myself so much and had so much fun.
Yeah, and girl, you were the fashion. You were part of it. It's so cool.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah, speaking of your look and your fashion, so we loved your hair at the Sonic 3 premiere. Whoever did that and those colors did an amazing job. How long was that hair process? How long were you in the chair for?
Um, you'll be surprised what I'm about to tell you right now.
Hmm.
It was not a hairstylist. It was
Oh,
my secret hairstylist. My dad did my hair.
what?
Yeah.
No, that's so sweet.
Yes. It took probably an hour.
No
Took an
way.
hour.
Oh
Yeah.
my, go
Yeah,
ahead.
so that's my secret. He has a couple secret hats. So he didn't do my hair today, but yeah, he wears a hat a lot on special occasions, on special events.
We
Yes.
love that. That is so helpful. How fun. How fun. I love that it's like a family affair for you guys. That's really sweet.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay. Couple more things and then I'll let you go here, but we saw that you like to act. So what was that? What has that experience been like? And do you plan to do more of it? And I have a feeling you're going to say yes.
Definitely. I plan to be on the big screen, and I love trying to be different people, and I think it's a way to really like tap into yourself and really get to know who you are inside. I mean, you know who you are, but you could see different sides of yourself, and you're like, I didn't know you could do that. Man, wow. So I think that's like the fun thing about acting. You get to be
Yeah.
different people, and acting takes research too. You
Oh, yeah.
gotta if it's a new movie, not so much. You can actually be try to add a little bit of yourself into it. But when it's a movie that's been out and then you're making a second one or a third one, that's when you got to do your research. So that's when research comes into many things.
Yes.
And but yeah, I want to be on the big screen, and that I know it's gonna happen. And I'm manifesting that.
Yes, girl. And I feel like we all heard that there's a Princess Diaries 3 in the works this year. I feel like that would match your vibe. I feel like you would play such a great role in that. So I don't know, maybe that's on the vision board for this year.
It will be. It will be. Yes. I'm gonna put that yeah, it's in the vision board. I I don't ask for things. I
Okay.
let them come to me naturally and healthy. I don't I make sure they come naturally so it's not so pushy and so not organic. And I let them come to me and it's organic and healthy and it's a healthy branch.
Totally. You have the vision, you have the dream, but you're not stressing about how. You're gonna let it come to you, and it's just gonna happen naturally because it's who you are
Yes.
and it's who you're destined to be. I love that. That is something that we can all learn from. Okay, so what is one thing you think, besides doing research, that every interviewer should do or know before doing an interview?
I think it's always be confident. Confident is very key. And like I said, tone and delivery is very important when it comes to doing an interview. And I think that's the most important. And how you relate to people. And I think you need to be confident when you speak. You don't need you need to be confident. And also you could be a bit nervous because that's a good thing. That shows that you're really like grateful for the moment, like I said. And I feel like it's a good thing you're nervous. It shows gratitude and gratefulness that you're showing gratefulness for this moment and you care about the moment. So I think that's the most important. I think
Yeah. That's great. That's beautiful. And I feel like this last question kind of aligns. And I have two for you. We'll smush them into one. But what who is somebody that you would love to interview that you haven't yet? And what do you hope people take away from your interviews when they see them?
Okay, so first I definitely want to interview Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
I would definitely love to interview Rihanna, oh my gosh, Beyonce. Mm, Anna Wintour. Everybody calls me Mini Wintour, so it would be such a surreal moment to meet her. She is the fashion icon, Zendaya. I actually was supposed to interview her at the Golden Globes, but the carpet went too quick. But
Oh,
you know, it's saving the per. It God puts moments in the right place and when they're supposed to happen. So I
that's
believe
right.
in that, and also, I want to interview Olivier Rousting. He's the designer for Balmain, and why I want to interview him? I really want to know what are some things that I really want to know because it's for designing. I want to be a designer, I think also. I want to know what like his pieces are so iconic and amazing. And I used to do like recaps on his runway shows and I think to pick in his brain would be really cool. And also, I want to interview Jim Carrey. He is the Grinch. I met him at the Sonic premiere and took a selfie with him. That was legendary. That was so cool. He is so nice and amazing. That's it. And what I really want people to get from my interviews, I want people to feel when they watch my interviews. I want them to be inspired by my interview and my guest, and I want the stories to lift people. And I think that's what I really want people to get from my interviews is feel and have the stories to lift them up and kind of and I think them being inspired by the interview and my guest. I think that's what I want them to be inspired by.
That's so, so sweet. And this is
Thank
just
you.
the beginning for you, girl. You're off to the moon. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with
Thank
us today.
you. Thank you so much for calling me and thank you for catching up. Thank
It
you.
it was so great to chat with you, girl.
Yes, definitely. I'm Taylen Biggs, and please subscribe to Young Entertainment. Thank you so much. Bye.